Yo, it's Elut, and welcome back to my 4 students only hard mode run of Radiant Dawn. We are at part 4, chapter 2 now, which is the 3rd army, the Hawk army. And for this chapter, as well as 4-5, our 2 forced units are Tibarn and Queen Elincia. Normally, this chapter, and often, especially 4-5, people use them as sort of extra experience maps for units that are maybe under-leveled and things like that. And that's good because Elincia starts with a skill called Mercy, which we actually just took off of her. And what that does is it allows Elincia to attack things, and she will always leave enemies at 1 HP. She won't kill them. In this context, though, that is terrible, so we take that off right away, and we give her Paragon. Honestly, this is kind of how I play this chapter most of the time. Even on a normal run, partially because it's funny to have a beefed up Elincia. I just like using her. I try to bring her to the tower whenever I can. I just think she's a really fun unit. But also by having a beefed up Elincia for 4-5, it allows us to do that chapter very quickly, because that one can take a long time, especially if you only have Tibarn to do that. Because basically, if you don't know or remember or whatever, and I'll talk about it more when it comes up, but in that map, Izuka will summon Laguz every turn adjacent to him. So if you just have Tibarn, it's going to be hard to actually get Tibarn in there and kill Izuka, because then he'll like warp and stuff if you get too close. So having Elincia trained up and be able to fight consistently is very, very good. So that's the main sort of objective of this chapter, is to give Elincia as many levels as possible. That doesn't mean that we're not going to be using Tibarn, because she gets plenty of levels even when Tibarn is off killing things on his own, and he's damn good at it too. We just wait her there, because if both of those enemies hit her, she still won't die, but if she were to attack on player phase, get hit, and then get hit twice, she would die. And of course, she has her legendary weapon that is a brave weapon, infinite uses, I believe 15 might or so. It's really good. Right now, she's not quadrupling, but she very quickly will. Like already first level. And essentially, Elincia is going to take most of the things on the top side of the map, and Tibarn is going to take things on the bottom of the map. The only real things you have to watch out for are the occasional crossbow, which is really bad for both of them. They won't kill Tibarn unless they hit like a low % crit, but they do like 50 damage or something ridiculous, so be careful of that. Once Elincia gets a few levels as well, she can be good for killing them, because obviously she has more movement, and if she has a brave effect and can kill in 2 hits, then you avoid a counterattack altogether. So Tibarn just killed one right there. He procced Tear, so the guy got one shot, all good. But he wouldn't have died anyway, and we always have a mend staff on Elincia if we need it. And of course, if it wasn't obvious already, the footage is sped up, because, you know, it can take a little bit of a long time. And of course, we had to bring Tibarn back right there for the archer earlier, because Elincia was not quadrupling, so she couldn't kill it in 1 round. But she will very quickly get to those thresholds. And of course, stun really helps too, which is her tier 3 mastery skill. That can be pretty disgusting. Big fan of Elincia, if you can't tell. She's very, very fun. Alright, and then we're sending Elincia back up, and there are going to be a few groups of reinforcements in the top right again, as well as the bottom right. Before, it was just like a couple waves of like a single enemy, like a single fighter or warrior, whatever. I think it's warriors, the second tier, right? Fuck me. Killing Edge, yikes. Gotta watch for that. But if she enemy phases, she won't die to a crit, so we let her do that. But anyway, what I started to say was in the top right and the bottom right very soon will be waves of about 4 enemies or so. I believe it's 3 halberdiers and a sage. And by the time they show up, she'll pretty much be able to deal with them on her own. That's a bow knight there, obviously. Gotta be careful of that, but she is quadrupling now, so that's all good. Just levels upon levels upon levels. That is a siege tome right there that Tibarn just killed. Blizzard tome. That can be pretty bad for both of them as well. Elincia's resistance is actually really good. Tibarn's not so much. But of course, you know, wind on flyers is never a good idea. It's never a good thing. And in this game, it's triple effectiveness for bonus damage, so you do have to be kind of careful. Alright, and then there's the first squad. So I believe if she takes damage from all of them, she will die. So we make sure to count tiles so she doesn't fight all of them at once. And I think the mage does like 4 damage to her or something. It's like pathetic. She's really not afraid of magical enemies. And of course, you saw me checking over there. There is another crossbow by the boss. I can't remember ever if he moves or not, because several enemies by the boss I know don't move, and he might be one of them, but it's never worth the risk because it is a crossbow. Yeah, that can be pretty awful. And then, as well as all of these generals that are holding like choke points here, most of them also won't move. So we typically have to kill something and then canto in front of them so we can enemy phase them and make it go faster, or just kill them outright on our turn, because they won't generally come to us. And of course we're going to have to take a turn to heal. And these guys have awful hit rates, so they're actually less scary than the halberdiers were. God, dude, Tibarn's such a beast. He's so fun to use, man. He's so busted. It's just Naysala with more strength, basically. He's a freak. And of course, by now, Elincia's pretty much shaped into the unit we need her to be for 4-5. But she'll still get in a few more kills by the time this chapter's done, and I do believe we let her kill the boss, too. And here we're gearing up to kill the crossbow. Yeah, 58 damage if that hits, which is kind of scary. You have to be aware of that. Alright, and then the 2 other guys will not move as well, so we can kill them for free on our turn. And then we kill the bishops. Easy money. Then we'll go back to normal speed here as we watch Elincia kill the boss. That's fun. Fuck Valtome. Plus, this song is pretty good. Lick the sole of my left boot. Constance would have taken that literally. Yikes. 3 houses moment. Alright, and then Valtome actually drops the Val Aura, which is the S rank light tome. It's not the SS rank light tome, but it is the S rank one. Oddly enough, though, it has the same might as a Thani tome, so we don't even need that for Micaiah either. That's really just not worth it. Kind of funny. I feel like they could have given that a little bit more, but... Anyway, that is 4-2. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.